How you doing today? It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here. Welcome all from Palm Desert, California. It's good to have you here. It is Wednesday, March the 29th, 2023. Already 2023. It is Wednesday. Let me mute that. I don't need to hear myself. How you doing? Look, this morning we have an uptick going in the market. We're up 211 on the Dow. We're up 31 points on S&P. NASDAQ is up 107. In percentage terms, it means we're up about 2/3% on the Dow Jones, 0.78 on S&P, and 0.83 on NASDAQ. So that's a good start to the morning. Crude oil is up 86 cents to 74.06. Why are the markets higher in the pre-market? Because it appears that more and more pundits, analysts are indicating that it looks like the worst is over for now for banking issues. There are no surprises the last week that we're unaware of, that kind of thing. So things seem to be calming down on the banking stability front and all that. Well, that's good. Okay, great. All right. The other reason, of course, is the markets have been under pressure lately. We've had some down dips here, and maybe we have time for a little dead cat bounce or a leaf rally, whatever you want to call it. A little pause in the action might be a little better. Okay, we'll take that too. Now, that leaves us to then look at, instead of the big picture, instead of what's going on in the world at large, what's happening with some of our favorite stocks. And today I have to talk about Gamestop, which I don't mind talking about because, I'd love to tell you something new, and I'm reading something new today, and I thought I would share this with you. But before I go there, a quick look at what's happening in the pre-market. Rocket Lab's up 6 cents to $3.95, nothing great. SoFi is up 7. GameStop is up 6 cents. Matterport is up 5.6. 23andMe is up 3. Spire looks to be up 2. ATIP seems to be up by almost 2 cents. Isn't saying a lot. It just looks like it. Cyxtera up a penny. Apple up 106. Goldman up 205. Cisco up 31. Tesla up 285. ARC Innovations up 50 cents. Microsoft up 231. Everything's green here. Bed Bath Beyond up 3/4 of a penny. Nothing much to get there. Pfizer up 14 cents. HBQ up 27. Carvana up 14, Google up 149, Amazon up 82 cents, Nvidia up $3, and Unity Software at 28.15 up 41 cents. Okay, so there's the early morning play-by-play at this point in time. Going to GameStop. Okay. There's been some interesting stuff coming out here. Really fascinating. When you file a quarterly report with the SEC, as a publicly traded company, your first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, you file a first quarter report and you were compared to the first quarter report from a year ago. You can also talk about how we are doing for the year. Well, in the first quarter, how are we doing for the year? It's the first quarter report. The second quarter, you talk about how that's going compared to second quarter last year, and now how are we doing for the first 6 months of the year? Same thing for the third quarter. Now, when it's the fourth quarter, which is what GameStop did, they filed their fourth quarter report last week. We got the word last week how they were doing. Got the surprise they made $41 million in the fourth quarter of 2022. Then they released their annual. They released all 4 quarters, which again, no, not a surprise. But what has to happen is, now that you've got your fourth quarter, you have to release audited financials for the year, your annual report. And in the annual report, you get all your numbers, you get management discussion of what happened in the year and what's going on. And in the back of the annual report, the last, sometimes 20, 30 pages, the first 15 are all about how we think we're doing and how great we are with fancy pictures and then their financials. And then the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pages are the notes to the financials, the accounting notes, the notes that the auditors have to include to help readers of the annual report understand how these numbers came to be for the year. And in these notes, sometimes you pick up little gems of knowledge that you don't generally hear about in any financial quarterly update. You don't get to notice it, or you don't catch it, or you don't realize what's going on because management doesn't talk about it. And you know all about GameStop and their silent treatment that they give their shareholders. They don't talk to anyone. But to be fair, in a way, GameStop really has no one to talk to. Who are they going to talk to anyway? The only people that GameStop can talk to are the shareholders, but they sure can't reach their shareholders through any brokerage firms. They can't reach out to their shareholders because 25 stock analysts are looking to update their buy and sell recommendations. I mean, there are 3 recommendations from analysts on GameStop, and they're basically, the company's garbage, sell, get out. Jefferies has a target price of $5.30 or 80 cents or something like that. I mean, that's it. So you want to call these guys? You want to tell these guys how great you're doing and how great you're doing? They're not going to report and help you spread the message of goodwill. They're going to say, management said this, we think that. Management says this, we think that. So they don't have much incentive to put a charm offensive out on the analyst. But you know what would be nice is they could do a shareholder awareness day. They could do a kind of what Apple does or other companies do from time to time. They have investor day. It's a chance to promote yourself. They could go to investor conferences and have a team of GameStop people out to talk about their future, but they don't do that. And the reasoning they say on the last annual report, the last annual meeting, I should say, was last year. They said something like, we don't answer these questions because we'll be giving away trade secrets to other businesses. Yeah, like they're inventing the freaking wheel. I mean, come on. What are you guys doing that no one else is doing? Nothing I can see. The stock sure doesn't reflect incredible upside potential in nuclear fusion in gaming systems. I mean, come on, there's nothing there. So I don't know. They don't talk. Let's just cut to the quick. They don't talk. They don't grant interviews. They don't do one-on-ones. They do nothing. And so the only way to get your hands on info is sometimes through these financial disclosures. All right. So this morning I was going through this stuff, and I have limited time in the morning to do this because I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, theoretically, if the alarm goes off. Try to regain consciousness, splash some water on my face, try to find any hair that's left now that I've cut it. There's nothing left. Make a coffee and get over here and talk to you in plain English what the hell's going on in the market. It doesn't give me a lot of time to dig into the financials, but I did find a couple of things. The company announced a $41 million profit in the fourth quarter. Great. It's good stuff. How did they do that? They did that from what we've already figured out, lowering costs, laying off a bunch of people, closing operations that aren't profitable, improving margins, lowering inventory levels, which means less capital in inventory, more cash on hand. And at the end of the day, for every dollar that came through the front door, they got to keep more of the pennies when it was all said and done. The question I've had now for the last week to you is, can they keep it up? Can they do this in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter? Because the fourth quarter equals about, of all the sales they do, of all the business, 37, 38% is in the fourth quarter. So that's roughly 40%. So if you took 40% off the top, leaves you with 60% of the sales. That's done in 3 other quarters. So 20% of sales in the first quarter, 20% of their gross sales in the second quarter, 20% of their entire sales in the third quarter, and almost 40% in the last quarter, give or take a couple of percentage points. That's roughly how this works. So the good news, I say, is if 38% of your sales or 37% of your sales were in the fourth quarter and you made money, That I want to know. That's the quarter you have to make money. You have to make money in the quarter you do the most business in. You gotta. I can forgive you if you don't make money in the first quarter. If you break even in the first quarter because your sales are only at 19% of the total, or 20% of the total, or 21, or 18.75, or whatever the number is, and you break even, you don't lose money in the first quarter. Okay, all right. Second and third quarter, you make a little on each one. Maybe you make 5-10 million in the second quarter, you make 30 million in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter of 2023, you're going to make 60 million. Hey, we got an annual profit for the whole dang year. Big turnaround for GameStop from losing money to making money. That would be super. I'm trying to figure out, can they do that, and how would they do it? You can't lay off the same person twice. Once you let someone go, yeah, you can. You have to, say something like we fired, we furloughed, whatever word you want to use. We got rid of a bunch of people, and we gave them severance checks for 2 weeks or a month, or we gave them health care for 3 months, or whatever we gave them to see around to kick them out. That we have to carry in our books for a couple of months, maybe a quarter or 2 or 3. We have to annualize that. We have to write that off. But once that's through, over time, that is gone now. And we don't have those expenses anymore. We don't have to worry about the person sitting in the cubicle. We don't have to worry about maintaining their computer system. We don't have to worry about them getting a cell phone for work. We don't have to worry about a laptop for work. We don't have to do that because these people are gone. And so our cost of business is cheaper. It costs us less money to be in business because we have fewer people around. If this is an admin situation type person, fair enough. If you're getting rid of a store employee that's a $15 an hour employee, a $12 an hour employee, a $17 an hour employee, whatever the hell it is, you can add 10-20% to the hourly wage for benefits that you have to pay, you have to deliver, and all of that you have to provide. But you're not saving billions of dollars a year getting rid of people of that nature. You're going to save a lot of money if you're going to reduce the size of the staff where they're making 60,000, 80,000, 100,000 a year. You drop a bunch of those folks, yeah, that's a lot of money. No, what did they do this year? Remember they had we had the announcement almost a year ago. They were opening up a customer call center in Florida to offer the finest customer sales, after sales marketing support performance. They shut that thing down. They opened it, and then they quietly, not too long after that, they let it go. Everybody was let go, furloughed. They closed that division. They shut that thing off. The Reno distribution center that we talked about here many times never opened. It's not in the books. I can't find the word Reno, Nevada anywhere so far in the annual report. I can't find it. It's erased from existence. The warehouses in York, Pennsylvania, yep, it's there. And the Grapevine, Texas, and the Burlington near Toronto, that's there. There's a distribution center in Australia. They're all there. I don't see anything about a Boston office. I don't see anything about a Seattle office. These were also supposedly an up-and-coming thing that they were going to hire all kinds of software developers and programmers and stuff in Boston and Seattle. Erased from existence. Nothing. So what? This is the problem when you have a company that doesn't speak. Now, it's also the problem if you don't have 25 analysts. Because if you get 25 analysts, they're all competing against each other to give you the latest news on the company. They want to be the ones that you trust. There's 3. They all hate these guys. No one gives a crap about GameStop. They're not going to do any digging because they don't have any motive to do any digging. There's no competition to dig any deeper. Okay. I got some good news. I do have good news. The good news is that GameStop has this cash on hand. There's this cash thingy they've got. It's this thingy called how much money they have in cash. 1 point something billion in dollars, 1.3 billion in cash, and they might be able to raise that even higher if they can keep reducing their inventory levels, which they did in the fourth quarter. they're putting that money into T-bills. They're putting that into 30-day, 60-day, 90-day U.S. Treasuries. So every 30 days, this money rolls over, it matures and pays interest. And so it doesn't sound like a lot, but they used to only get 0.5% interest on their money, 0.75% interest on their money, because interest rates were nothing. Of course, you remember that the Fed funds rate was 0. Well, in the last 6, 8, 9 months, the Fed fund rate has gone up to 4+%, and we're probably going to top out around 5, perhaps more. Treasury bills, 30, 60, 90s, these are paying 2, 3, 4, 4.5% interest, depending on which month you have and what the market is doing. And good news for GameStop is they're not a bank. They're not going to get a run on deposits and they have to sell these T-bills before they want to. They can hold their T-bills to maturity because the maximum T-bill is a 90-day, 3-month T-bill. Whoop-de-doo. They don't need the cash on a quarterly basis. Do they need $1.3 billion in the next 90 days? No, they don't. So this money's going to earn money. Well, wait a minute. Hold it. Just what? If they're going to earn 3% interest on $1.3 billion, that's $40 million. Wait, didn't Bruce just say a minute ago they made $41 million in the fourth quarter alone? And that's $40 million. That's $40 million a year. That's $10 million a quarter in profit because they don't have any loans. Remember the line of credit they had and that $200 million they used to owe and all that stuff. This is 2 years ago. They got rid of it. Remember they did the stock issuance? They raised that $1.7 billion. They paid off their debts. The only loan they have is a loan in France that is 90% guaranteed by the French government at 1% interest, at most 1% interest, because I was reading the financials and some of it is at 0.7 and some of it is at 1%. It's a joke. This is $39 million that will be paid off in the next 5 years. This is a non-factor. $40 million with $1.3 billion in cash. This is a nothing burger. So forget the long-term debt. They don't have anything to worry about there. They don't have interest expenses of 12, 14, 15% a year like cruise lines do. They don't need to go to the bond market and raise a bunch of money from bondholders. They don't need to go to the stock market and release 100 million shares into the open market like AMC needs to release 5 billion shares into the open market. AMC doesn't have to raise any cash from anybody. And so this money on hand is actually making them money. $10 million a quarter, $3.3 million a month in interest. Divide that by 30 days. That's a lot of money every day that's coming in interest money for these guys. Now, if they can get 4.5% interest, if rates keep rising, they could haul in maybe 55, 60 million a year in interest. They could haul in 5 million a week in interest a month, 5 million a month. I'm sorry, 5 million a month in interest, which is $60 million a year. Hey, could be more. I mean, it could be more. 1.3 billion at 5%, 65 million. So, hey, this is added to the bottom line of the company to the benefit of the shareholders. So if you're going to make 40 million in the fourth quarter, and that's going to become 60 million this year, and you can add 15 million more to that on interest earnings, you get 75 million bucks in the fourth quarter of this year. Come back to the first quarter. The first quarter starts off with the company already making the equivalent of $10 million in interest income this quarter already. They've got 10 million in profit from money. Now, how are you doing on your inventory? How are you doing on your sales? How are you doing on your margins? What's going on? Now, what I've also read, unfortunately, is this e-commerce thing has been, I think, a disaster. I think it's been an absolute failure in the big picture, because 2 years ago, we were talking about this here on this channel every day about GameStop. It was March, April 2021. And we were talking about the Ryan Cohen effect and how Ryan Cohen was going to completely convert the company away from bricks and mortar to e-commerce. That was the story. That was the story from GameStop and everyone watching GameStop. And here we are 2 years later, and the reality is a little bit different. They have refocused their energies back to brick and mortar. They figured out where their money comes from. Their money comes from people walking in the front door of high traffic locations. That's where they make their money. Because when you're in the store, you come in with a mindset that you want to buy the latest game for blah, but you leave the store buying that, and you just dropped $100 when you thought you were going to drop 50. and you dropped 200. You thought you dropped 100, you dropped 200, whatever the number is. You leave with more than what you came in for at GameStop. And now that they have collectibles, they've got cards, collectible cards and stuff. This is high margin stuff. They sell more of that than the a game they sell for $50. They make $8 on. You buy something for $50, they make $30 on or $20 on. Hey, $6 billion a year in sales as an overall corporation. You can improve your margins by 5% on $6 billion of sales, $300 million in profits additional. That helps take care of expenses and costs and everything else to be in business. This adds up. 1 percentage point improvement in margins on a $6 billion gross revenue company. This is big money. We're talking real money here. Add that to the interest income, add that to more cost cutting. You got something going on here. These guys have also figured out something else when it comes to the e-commerce thing. They haven't dropped it. It's not like they're not offering product on e-commerce. It's that they don't have a theme on the e-commerce. Usually, if you would go to a company that is not a retail corporation and you go to their website to buy something, if it's a jewelry company, it's all about jewelry. If it's a shoe company, it's all about shoes. Well, if you go to GameStop's website, you would think it's all about games. Well, it's not all about games. It wasn't about anything. It was about everything is what it was about. Now, they weren't selling shoes and they weren't selling jewelry, but they were trying to sell big screen televisions. They were trying to sell wiring for your television. They were trying to sell computer systems. They were all over the map with what they were doing. Nothing to do with gaming. And at first we thought, this is good. It's diversification. It gets them away from this very low margin business. What they're trying to do, I think now, is shift more into collectibles online. Collectible selling. And I think that's an excellent way to go. Go for high margin stuff and dump everything else. Story goes that they had so many flat screen TVs on order and so much other merchandise on order that for 2021, not even the quarter we just had, the fourth quarter of 2021, they were supposed to have brought in humongous container loads of merchandise. It had been ordered and it had been brought in specifically to enhance the online selling of the company. They were bringing in these 70-inch televisions, 60-inch televisions, all kinds of other material. And they realized this is a problem because as it arrived, first of all, it arrived late because of the supply chain issues. Even though they generally didn't talk about that, they got caught like everyone else with some supply chain issues. And by the first and second quarter of 2022, the year just ended, they had all these items stacked up in warehouses that were arriving way too late and now needed to be moved because they're in the way of the door. They're in the way of the loading dock. They're in the way of other merchandise. Because when you try to stock 1,000 big screen televisions versus 1,000 copies of a video game that you can hold in your hand, 1,000 of these versus 1,000 of these, you need footage, you need space, you need forklifts to move gazillions of boxes of televisions. I mean, this is ridiculous. They got out of that business. They blew off their TVs at serious discounts. Some of you were saying to me, oh, the prices on their website are unbelievably cheap for televisions and stuff. Yeah, because they were getting rid of them. Even at a loss, they were getting rid of them because they needed the space for really what was going to pay the bills. Cohen, he's a smart guy. He's 37 years old, okay? Ryan Cohen is a smart cookie. He's a successful business person, but he's not perfect. None of us are perfect. I mean, I'm close, but you guys are geniuses, but we all have our faults. Cohen, if he's anything, he is quick enough to understand when something isn't working. At least I perceive him that way. I could be dead wrong on this guy, but I think I'm right. If he went into, he and his team went into a certain area, it's not working out, they've pulled out. And there seems to be evidence of this all over the place with the company. I think that he realized that Seattle's office the Boston office, the call center in Florida, the Reno distribution center were all going to bleed him dry. They were just going to bleed GameStop of millions and millions and millions of dollars, and he dumped them. And then he laid off all kinds of software creators, IT people, call center people. Contractors were stopped dead in their tracks. Everything was pulled back. They went ahead and finished Pennsylvania. They did that. That place is running. Yes. How long? I don't know. It's a lease. They don't own the building. They don't own the land. They probably have a 10-year lease. They'll run it for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, though, it's probably now year 2 has gone through here. Year 3 is coming up. At the end of 10 years, they might walk from Pennsylvania. I don't know. That might happen. We don't know what Canada's distribution center is going to have. We don't know what Australia is going to have. We don't know what the U.S. is going to have. But it sounds and looks to me like they've gone back to retail. They've gone back to the brick and mortar game. They've come out in the last 6 months or last 60 days and 90 days, really 3 months, to the store people, to the retailers, to the retail staff of theirs. They're part-timers and they're store managers. We love you guys, and we are going to make sure you are well compensated. They want to make sure that their best retail consultants don't leave the company. They are going to look after these folks with sales incentives, bonuses, and benefits, and what have you. That could prove to be a very smart move by the company, because when you have 4,200 something stores, you've got 4,200 locations to promote your product from. Here it is here. Let me just move my phone around. In the United States, store count at the end of 2022, so what, not even 3 months ago, well, let's call it 3 months ago, at the end of January 2023, January 28th, 2023, they had 2,949 stores in the United States, 216 in Canada, 419 stores in Australia. 419 in Australia. 829 in Europe under various brand names. Total number, 4,413. That's how many stores they have. Now, they had the year before, January 22, 4,573. They went down to 4,413. So that's a drop of 160 overall. They added 8, lost 168, and ended up with 4,413. They do have leases coming up for a renewal. And I don't think I wrote that down. I'm double checking. No, it's right here. For 2023, this year, leases of 1,723 locations are up. So they have to decide what to do with 1,723 of their existing locations. Do they negotiate new terms for a new lease, or do they close these stores and a combination thereof? I'm sure there'll be a combination thereof. For 2024, they have 891 stores coming up. In 2025, there are 690. 2026, they have 395. And after 2027, 714 locations come up. So I'll tell you, out of 4,413 leases coming up, most are this year. This is a big year for the company to decide how many offices or stores are they going to run going forward. That is the question. Again, you drop your underperforming locations and you keep your best performing locations. You improve the look of your best performing locations. You attempt to negotiate new deals with your landlords at a much lower rate per square foot. And landlords right now in commercial real estate are desperate to keep retailers. Desperate. And I'm going to guess that pretty well every single GameStop store, if it's worthy of staying in business, doesn't pay a base rent for rent. These guys have 800 square foot stores, 1,000, 1,200, small stores. They generate a lot of revenue per location. The so-called sales per square foot number is phenomenal. Has always been phenomenal for GameStop. The mall that I used to be in, I used to have a sports store selling sports clothing and memorabilia items. They had a store of 850 square feet. They were the mall's #1 square foot seller, outdoing the jewelry stores. They outsold the phone companies selling telephones. So Apple phone distributors, they were outdoing those guys. It's quite amazing. So their sales for games and systems, used games per square foot, very high. Going forward now, I wouldn't be surprised if they drop the very small micro stores or money losers in without question. The ones that have way too high a rent per square foot, they're going to dump those stores. They'll go back to the landlord with an offer that the landlord can refuse, but would be dumb to do so. And the offer might be, we want to now operate 1,000 square foot stores on average instead of 800 square foot stores, or 1,200 retail feet of space with 1,000 in the back for our little mini warehouses in each of our little store. We're prepared to sign a 5-year deal. We're prepared to move locations within the mall, and we want to work a 5-year deal with a 5-year option. And the landlords might well jump at that with a real attractive rate, because it's either the base rate or it's sales per foot. And sales per foot might be a gross percentage of sales. It'll be hammered out with these guys. And GameStop knows that if they've got a killer location, it's a per foot cost to be there, not a minimum rent. If they're paying minimum rent in malls, that store will be closed because it doesn't generate enough money. That's how this business works. So it'll be interesting to see how they evolve these locations. Now, the locations are being used now, today, as distribution centers for their e-commerce business. This is another interesting little ditty going on. A high number of items that are being ordered on the e-commerce site that they have. It's not like it's stopped dead. It's still got business. What they're doing is on small items, like if you're ordering 2 or 3 games and maybe a hand controller or something like that, it all fits into a shoebox kind of size. Those kinds of orders, they're trying to fulfill those by sending the shipment to your nearest store. So if you're in St. Louis, you're in Los Angeles, you're in Miami, you're in Atlanta, you're in wherever, they may end up sending your order to the nearest store in the shopping mall nearest you. And they may literally contact you during your order process. They will come to you and say, we can deliver the product to your house for this much money, or you can pick up your order in the next 72 hours. We'll contact you at store such and such at this shopping mall. What would you like to do? And if you take the mall option, it's cheaper. And for them, it's much cheaper because they are now shipping tons of orders to each store every couple of days. They're sending out orders that are pre-packed at the warehouse centers, the e-commerce distribution centers closest to these stores. And the customers come into the store to pick up their item. And the odds of the customer coming into the store to pick up a prepaid item and maybe buying something while you're here has just gone up dramatically. And this is a home run move by GameStop. Absolute smartest move you can make. Because if you can convince the customer to come in on a Saturday with the kids to pick up the package you ordered online last week, the kids are going to go scatter all over the store and go, Mommy, can I have this? Can I have that? I'll spend my allowance to get this. I'll spend my allowance to get that. You now have just improved the odds of additional sales by a zillion %. It's huge. Might only be a $50 purchase, $25 purchase, an $80 purchase. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You have tens of thousands of pickups being done every couple of days by customers out of the 50 million that are on the website all the time. You have tens of thousands of additional sales of on-site merchandise at the retail location. That's a winner. That's a winner chicken dinner. And that is what these guys are going after. I commend them for that. I say, look, figure out what your strength is and go with it. Whatever you're best at, keep doing what you're best at and don't do what you're worst at. Don't make mistakes like option writers. You write options and you make money on stocks that, either go up slowly, don't go up or go down, but don't make mistakes being an investor in the open market. Limit your mistakes and cash in your gains and you're going to do just fine. The NFT thing, Bruce, what about the NFT thing? You're not mentioning the NFT thing. I'm not. You know why I'm not? There's nothing to talk about on the NFT thing. There's the problem. Now, did the company put their entire future on NFTs? No, they didn't. They didn't guarantee $1 billion of their existence into something they had no idea what they were talking about. They dipped their toe into this area, this area, this area. I don't know if we're done with it yet. I don't know what the next 3-6 months holds. I don't know if there's a future in this business or not. We'll let you know. I don't know. In the meantime, the company is surviving and making money on old school retail. They're buying merchandise, distributing it to their stores, and selling it to people walking in the front door. And they have continued to walk in the front door. And that is the other shocker, because 2 years ago, we were told that their traffic was way down. We were told 2 years ago, everything was going digital. We were told 2 years ago, no one is going to go to a shopping mall to ever buy anything in the gaming system. And yet, today, Target, Walmart, Costco, and all kinds of other sellers, and online like Amazon, are selling games like you can't believe. They're being mailed to people's homes. Amazon is very busy in the gaming department. So GameStop is very much involved in a come and get it type atmosphere. And the best part about GameStop for most customers, they're kind of handy. They're located in a handy location. They're located in shopping malls where you can park for free. That's a big deal in cities these days. Parking for free in a shopping mall is a very nice add-on that malls offer shoppers. Moms and dads can go into a shopping mall with those kids and let them go. Let them tear the place apart. Either leave them in where the balls are and the little slides are, and one of the parents watches them frolic, or they're 8, 12, 14 years old. The older one looks after the younger one. Go to GameStop together. And they're in the GameStop store. They love to be in the GameStop store. That's where they want to. They don't want to go into mom's dress shop with mom. They don't want to be there. They want to be in the GameStop store. And so mom and dad comes and gets them, and they say, oh, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. And now mom is taking notes. He wants that, and he wants that. And the birthday's coming up. Graduation's coming up. Christmas is coming up. Yeah, I know what to get this kid. I know what to get this kid. And those kids who have allowance, they know what they want to spend their money on. And they can see it, they can feel it, they can touch it. They're not interested in online if they can see it in real life. If mom and dad go to the mall every couple of weeks at these children's younger age, they're in there every couple. The kids are addicted to the GameStop store. They're going to get fries at the food court, and they're going to be in the GameStop store. First one, the other, then the other, whatever pattern, but it's going to happen. That's the game that's going on here. The stock's up 12 cents this morning. This article from Wall Street Journal wasn't necessarily all that flattering. Yet, interesting. The headline is Ryan Cohen's grand plans for GameStop keep shrinking. That is the headline in the Wall Street Journal today. Video game retailer, the original meme stock, hits brakes on e-commerce push to refocus on its 4,400 bricks and mortar locations. This is an article written by Sarah E. Needleman and Dana Mattioli today that came out first thing this morning. And it says here, Ryan Cohen took control of GameStop in 2021, vowing to transform the faltering video game retailer into an e-commerce juggernaut. Meme stock investors loved the idea. Ordinary customers, it turns out, did not. E-commerce sales didn't take off. They declined. Losses grew, and a succession of online sales executives Mr. Cohen brought in left. Last year, to little fanfare, the billionaire investor reversed course and slammed the brakes on the e-commerce push to refocus GameStop on its roughly 4,400 bricks and mortar stores. In other words, the original meme stock reverted to a business model with the mall at its center. The company began slashing costs. It scrapped plans to build more warehouses to handle online orders, shut a new e-commerce customer service center, and cut several hundred corporate jobs created under Mr. Cohen. On March 21st, the cost cutting allowed GameStop to record its first profit in 2 years, but revenue declined by 1%. Meme stock investors were thrilled. The GameStop shares, which are declined by almost 70% since Mr. Cohen took over as chairman in June 2021, surged that day by more than 40%. Remember, they went to $27 a share? Other stockholders expressed concerns that GameStop still hadn't hit on a formula for growth. This is a risky stock, said Kevin Youssef of Youssef Capital Management in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, which holds a $1.3 million stake. Some of the Grapevine, Texas-based companies' troubles stem from the same pandemic forces that hurt other retailers. Former GameStop executives and analysts said Mr. Cohen also miscalculated what his customers were willing to buy through its website and app. Many video gamers now buy and download games directly over the internet, which has cut deeply into GameStop's store-oriented business. Mr. Cohen's plan was to boost the company's online presence and expand its offerings beyond new and used video game discs. In 21 and 2022, the company cycled through a series of new products, including televisions, scooters, and non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. Most fell flat. Last year, though, early December, e-commerce sales fell to less than half of what they were in the year earlier period, according to an internal document reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Over that period, e-commerce accounted for only 10% of GameStop's overall sales. Quarter after quarter, we were unsuccessful with new ventures, said Ted Birabin, GameStop's former director of marketing analytics, one of dozens of employees laid off last summer. If something didn't work, senior leadership would go on to something else very quickly. Mr. Cohen and other executives declined to comment for this article. In the past, they said it would take time to remake GameStop into a consistently profitable company. Remember something, folks. I will kick in here in the middle of this article. Why are e-commerce sales lower at GameStop? Okay. People want to buy big screen TVs. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but here's the other thing that happened. Guess what happened in the last 3 months of 2022 versus 2021? In the last 3 months of 2021 and 2020 for that matter, but 2021, people were not shopping in shopping malls at the end of 2020. They were closed. They were forced to buy online. In 2022, we were open again. You can travel anywhere. You can go into you could take a cruise without needing vaccine shots anymore. You didn't have to wear masks everywhere you went. The United States lifted all of the restrictions the last quarter of 2022, which meant that shopping in shopping malls is back to a more normal thing. And the same thing at GameStop. The gamers couldn't wait to go back into their stores and not have to buy online. It says here, GameStop is now back to relying more on its bricks and mortar stores to support its shrinking e-commerce business. It is using the stores as mini fulfillment centers where employees package and mail online orders to local customers, and customers come in to pick up their purchases. That's what we're talking about here. Our stores in particular are a differentiator that will help us maintain direct connectivity to customers and position us to have localized order fulfillment capabilities across more geographies. GameStop CEO Matt Furlong said last year in an internal memo reviewed by their journal. If only he would say that publicly, I say, just as a little point. Mr. Cohen, 37 years old, gained a reputation as a retail wonderkind by co-founding online pet supply retailer Chewy. He remains GameStop's chairman and still owns around 11% of the company. He has invested more recently in other old school retailers, Bed Bath & Beyond and Nordstrom. Of course, we all know, folks, as a little comment, he isn't in Bed Bath & Beyond anymore, but he is into Nordstrom. It's hard to turn around a brick and mortar retailer that's under the kind of pressure that GameStop was and continues to be, Mr. Cohen said late last year in an interview with GMEDD.com, a site for GameStop individual investors. But that was also part of the attraction going into GameStop. He said he overcame similar challenges at Chewy, which he co-founded in his mid-20s and sold to PetSmart for $3.35 billion in 2017. Selling 30-pound bags of pet food in the mail was also very unpopular. We figured it out, he said. Mr. Cohen's Chewy sale left him with a pile of money and self-confidence to match. In late 2020, he bought close to 10% of the GameStop shares, ridiculed its management, and called for a complete overhaul away from what it was his outdated video game stores. GameStop had been struggling as people switched from buying games in boxes to downloading them from digital stores. Mr. Cohen argued that if GameStop wanted to avoid the fate of Blockbuster and Tower Records, it should bet big on e-commerce. Meme and stock investors piled into the stock, bidding it up more than 20-fold in the early months of 2021. They aimed to punish hedge funds that were selling it short. They called their leader Papa Cohen. Mr. Cohen joined GameStop's board in January 21 and was chairman by June. He filled most of the board with his chosen directors. He lured from Amazon Inc. a new CEO, finance chief, and operating chief, and began assembling an experienced team to build a new network of warehouses and modernize operations. Eventually, dozens of e-commerce veterans from Amazon, Chewy, and online discounter Zulily LLC joined GameStop. Within months, the company revamped its mobile app and website, and it opened a new fulfillment center in York, Pennsylvania, and a customer service facility in Florida. GameStop paid off its long-term debt using a portion of the more than $1.6 billion it raised from 2 stock offerings. The company shortened online order deliveries to 2 days from 4 or 5 in anticipation of a surge in orders. It planned a new warehouse in Reno. 2021, GameStop closed nearly 250 of its stores. In an effort to appeal to a broader swath of customers, GameStop started selling products such as beanbags, Nerf guns, smartwatches, and gaming chairs. It was hoping to ride the tsunami of e-commerce spending triggered by so many people stuck at home during the pandemic. Instead, it slammed into supply chain issues. Christmas 2021 was the first big test of the new e-commerce model. The company had ordered shipping containers of new products for the holiday season, but many didn't arrive in time, according to some of the former executives. Among the new offerings that didn't sell were televisions. GameStop was losing money on each marked down TV it sold online. Selling large screens in its small stores wasn't an option because they took up too much space, the former executives said. March 2022, GameStop reported its first ever holiday quarter loss and an inventory balance that had increased to more than 50% from a year earlier. The truckloads of televisions kept coming. They didn't sell. The company ended up donating some to charities. Reggae Phil's enemy, a former Nintendo company executive who was on GameStop's board until Mr. Cohen took over, said at the SXXW conference in March 2022 that the company had lost its way. Go on the GameStop website, try to find a strategy. He said there is no articulated strategy. In May 2022, GameStop hired as chief operating officer Nir Patel, a department store veteran who had years of experience with retail turnarounds working at Kohl's, Land's End, and Target, and other outlets. He replaced Jenna Owens, who had joined the retailer from Amazon in March 2021, but had left by that October. As losses continued to grow, Mr. Cohen met that month with Mr. Furlong and instructed him to abandon the e-commerce plan, shore up cash, and focus on stores, which would go back to fulfilling most online orders, according to former executives. Mr. Cohen told his management team to identify employees to lay off, the former executive said. Last July, Mr. Furlong told corporate employees at the company, which had added more than 600 people in 2021 and early 2022 to bring its total to more than 12,000 full-time salaried workers, was making job cuts. An internal memo reviewed by the Journal said the company needed to help keep things simple and operate nimbly. We talked about this last year. Mr. Abirabin, the former marketing analytics director, was among those laid off. He said Mr. Cohen had persuaded him to leave Chewy to join GameStop. He decided he had made a poor decision when the e-commerce push ran into problems. At one point, he said delivery bottlenecks were so bad that inventory was sometimes blocking warehouse doors. Other GameStop executives left voluntarily last year, including the chief growth officer, vice presidents of fulfillment and supply chain systems, and the senior vice president of customer service. All had joined the company the year before. Last July, GameStop's board told the remaining leadership team to find ways to get out of leases on 2 of its warehouses. According to some former executives, plans to open the Reno facility were scratched, and the team opted to close another warehouse in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. That same month, as its e-commerce efforts struggled, GameStop launched an online marketplace for buying and selling NFTs, which are digital certificates of ownership of digital goods. The timing was bad. Global NFT prices and trading plummeted late last year. The volume of transactions in GameStop's NFT marketplace fell from nearly 13 million in July to about 600,000 in January, according to DAP Radar, a blockchain analytics firm. The mistake he made is he didn't hire anyone from the gaming industry, and he wasted time and money with NFTs, says Jefferies Financial Group analyst Andrew Urowitz of Mr. Cohen. At the end of the day, gaming is going full digital. They're chasing a smaller and smaller customer or consumer. In late August, GameStop shifted its focus back to its brick and mortar roots, telling employees at its stores it planned to reward thousands of them with stock and pay raises. Mr. Cohen tweeted that day about store leaders with a heart emoji. GameStop called the stores the cornerstone of its brand and said it would be using them as mini fulfillment centers for e-commerce. In the 3 months through last October, GameStop recorded its 7th quarterly loss in a row. Sales of hardware and collectibles, such as toys and trading cards, increased from a year earlier, but sales of its core products, new and used games, fell. GameStop has laid off more employees since December, including about 50 from the e-commerce customer service center it shut down this month, and about 20 in the department supporting its NFT business. Last year, the company disclosed it reduced annual expenses by more than $100 million. After GameStop announced the recent quarterly profit, some analysts noted that the company hadn't yet figured out how to stop the slide in gaming software sales. Mr. Furlong didn't address that issue, but indicated that more job cuts will come this year in Europe, where the company is looking to exit some countries. We are taking a number of steps in fiscal 2023 to improve our efficiency, he said. We want stockholders to judge us on the results instead of our words. And that is the article in the Wall Street Journal head today, which is on the front page of their digital version. So there's some real exposure today on GameStop. Stock is up 11 cents in the pre-market. Doesn't sound like a flattering article, does it? And yet you read in there and you go 100 million in cost cuts. That's significant. More layoffs to come. That's significant. That tells me they're going to continue to drop their operating expenses. The key here is, can they build, and they believe they are and will, build their collectible side where the margins are. Don't lean on just games only to survive. Be part of the overall, the bigger picture. And if you can sell cards and you can sell other collectibles that aren't the size of televisions, but more like the size of something like this that can fit into a shoebox, you can carry that in your stores. You can definitely carry that kind of merchandise in your stores, because they are carrying, and they do sell gaming systems. There are people walking out of GameStop stores for years and years and years with big, huge bags full of gaming systems, headphones, bunches of games, wires, and all kinds of other accessories. So to sell collectibles that are the size of, something like a shoebox, that would make sense from an operational, logistical point of view. They can handle it. But the margins are what it's all about. Can you reduce your costs to sell, improve your margins on what you're selling, and therefore improve your profitability? With 40-something hundred stores, you certainly have the ability to do so. Now, are they going to exit certain countries in Europe? If they are, that might be done by way of a licensing arrangement. They may literally pull out of a country, but keep the stores open under a licensee arrangement where they don't run it anymore. They might do that. I talked about that 2 years ago, to do that. I wanted them to do that in Australia and Europe as a whole, and concentrate their efforts on running their retail stores in North America, where they have distribution centers in Canada and in the US. Again, I don't know what the big picture is there. That's the story on GameStop so far this morning. Lots to talk about. The filing was done with the SEC, and so now it's available for viewing. It will take some of you, if you ever want to try to read this stuff, it'll put you to sleep in 15 minutes flat, because you're trying to read auditors' notes. Oh, they are the worst, and they're hard to understand and discern, because they're using words nobody knows what they mean. In any event, there you have it. That is the story as I see it. We open for trading in 6 minutes as an overall market. I see the Dow still ahead by 245 points. S&P's up 38, NASDAQ up 140. So the environment is better this morning. I just don't know how long this rally will last. Crude is up at 79 cents a barrel. Nothing incredible, but it is just short of $74 a barrel. GameStop 23.30 last trade on the pre-market with a volume of 39,000. So there's no volume here to talk about. And so I can't tell you if this is accurate or not. Are we going to open down 50 cents, up 50 cents? I don't know. There's rumors out that Amazon is going to buy AMC. Forget about it, kids. Rumor it all you want. Dream on, people. It ain't gonna happen. I don't even know why anyone, for any reason whatsoever, would want to buy AMC theaters. No reason whatsoever, unless you've got $5 billion to write a check to the bankers. There is no reason to buy this company. It is worth ditka, and I don't even know why the shares are $5 on the commons and 147 on the preferreds. No idea what's going on there. It's a mess. Rocket Lab is up 7 cents in the pre-market. SoFi is up 8, sitting at 568. It lost 17 yesterday. GameStop right now up 14 cents. I got Matterport up 7, 23andMe up 3, Spire up 2.2 cents. I got ATI Physical Therapy up a penny. I got SmartRate unchanged, Cyxtera unchanged, Apple up 135, Goldman up 295, Cisco's up 28 cents. We opened in 4 minutes. Tesla's up 391. ARC Innovations up 62 cents. Microsoft up 337. Bed Bath Beyond up 1.7 cents. Pfizer up 18 cents. Hewlett Packard, HPQ up 31. Carvana up 14. Alphabet, Google up 145. Amazon up 117. Nvidia up 409. And Unity Software up 56 cents. That is the story as I see it right now on this open market. Welcome one, welcome all to the show, the channel. Thank you and welcome to a new member that came in this morning. Do I even find? Yes, Hybrid Duncan. I have a suspicion this is someone, is an old friend coming back. If I'm not mistaken, I suspect this is Duncan, our old pal, coming back in, and this is great to see him. Thank you and welcome back, my old pal. To have you here, great to have you in the show again and in the crowd. And I hope you're well out there. Fantastic. This is a Gold Bagel member, a returning Gold Bagel member too. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm sure that a number of folks have welcomed you back in already. There you go. That's what the story, what I have there. I do not have answers this morning. I want to have answers, but I don't yet have answers on what the hell is going on with CYXT. I don't have answers as to why ATIP is under 30 cents a share. I don't have answers why Spire is under $1 a share, other than more sellers than buyers and not non-awareness of the story. And I wish I had more to give you. I just don't at this point. Shamalama Ding Dong said, I sold 15, 16, 17, and $18 GameStop calls for June, July, September, October. I'm so red and all of them. I can't do anything but sit back and wait. At the moment, that's what I would do anyway. I wouldn't be in a hurry to do much of anything right now. Let's just see what these shares are going to do with this news out here today. Let's see if these shares hold their price, go up, or drop a couple of bucks. If the GameStop shares drop to $19, $20, all of a sudden, Shamalama Ding Dong is a whole lot closer. And with the premiums you've probably received, you're likely going to even be ahead of the curve with a few dollar pullback here. So I would not do much of anything at the moment. Just cross your arms and wait and see what's going on. Thank you all for being here. Let's see how this plays out. What else is going on? Thank you all for being here. Folks are talking to each other while I'm yapping away, which is great. We have 120 thumbs ups today already. Thank you. We got a minute to go before we open. Thank you for 120. If you can hit the thumbs up button, give our show a little momentum, please. I invite you to do that immediately. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. What else? Let's get ready to open today. See what's going on here. We're about to get the bells rung here from Larry, I'm sure, and we always appreciate that. Thanks, Larry, for being here with us. Manager number 115, D.H. Ruda. I was 116 today. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. You know, the thing about GameStop that has really been interesting for a lot of my viewers is that I am so excited for many of you who have done the right thing by writing call options the last year and a half. Some of you folks have written so many call options on GameStop that you've brought in more money than what you even paid for your GameStop. You guys have been really given some nice payoffs from the GameStop shares. And I say, way to go. Keep it up. It's a cash cow. It's been a cash cow. Let it continue to be one. Do not be afraid of this company giving you premiums every 2, 3, 4 weeks, months, whatever. Keep right. Always be writing on GameStop. This is the name of the game. And don't worry about the fact that your shares are going up in value, because don't forget, any of you out there that have written calls at like Shemalang and the Ding Dong, 15, 16, 17, 18, you know what? Your shares are not sitting at $16 a share like they were 2+ weeks ago. They're sitting at $23 a share. So your deep in the money calls, or your shares, whichever you have, are certainly a lot better off than they were. Those option premiums you brought in, if you get exercised, you get to keep those. Those are all yours as well. But keep in mind that shares do fluctuate, and I'm waiting to see what GameStop is going to do today. We are open, I believe. Thank you to all of you who are here. I am sure Larry has hit the bells. Yes, he has. Thank you, my friend. Home Skillet number 124. Karen, I have been waiting a long time with my 16, 17 games, so can't do much else but hold. And let's go. What's going on? Kids broke a Switch controller. I had one delivered in under 2 hours. The Smoke Dog, Mr. Premium of the option, 127. Time to fill our pockets with premiums. And Wall whatever says Amazon delivers too. Smoke Dog, $5 is cheaper than the gas you'd need to drive there. Laughing out loud. DQ, thank you, Larry Titus. And there you have it. Welcome one, welcome all. We've got GameStop now 23.05 at the moment, down 6, 7, 8 cents a share. We have the Dow holding a 237-point gain to start the morning. And so we're up and we're running, and we're up 39 on S&P, when Nasdaq's up 146 right now. That's the story as I see it here, as we are moving up in the early trades. We've got Tesla at 193.78, up 459. SoFi at 568, up 9 cents. Apple up 205 to 159.70. The question is this a dead cat bounce? Is there anything to this market rally for the big markets? Is this market going to just have a half hour of wonderful moves, and then we flatten out for half an hour, and then we lose it all for the rest of the day? What is going to happen here? I'm not sure if there's enough oomph behind this market to really go anywhere. There's underlying issues. That's my guess. HPQ up 47 cents. First Republic Bank down 8. Google up 99, Moderna up 209, Cisco up 37, Pfizer's up 7, IBM up 69 cents, Microsoft up $4, ME up a penny, Matterport up 3, Cyxtera is down 5, Rocket Lab up 3.7, SmartBrand up a penny, Spire down 4, Bed Bath Beyond unchanged, Amazon up $2, Home Depot up 114, Netflix up 543, SMH Semiconductor up 481, Adobe up 429, Goldman up 306, Boeing up $1, Meta up 308. The AMC combination down, looks like 12.5 cents. Royal Caribbean up 132. We've got Target up a dime. JP Morgan up 45. Costco up 195. Walmart up 109. Disney up $1.36. Nvidia up 580. American Airlines up 13 cents to $14.11, just over $14 a share. Not going anywhere fast on American. 230-point gain on the Dow now, with GameStop at 23.11 or 23.05. You tell me which one is accurate. This market is definitely trying to find itself at the moment. 23.05 according to Market Watch for the GameStop quote. 23.07, 23.11 on Yahoo Finance. It's a couple pennies out, but that's what I see right now. We're lower, but not by very much. GameStop opening volume in the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 151,000 shares. That's it. Very quiet opening there. Nothing too incredible. 23.07 down 8. What else is going on? We're up 1.3 cents on ATIP at 28.4 on about 10,000 shares. SoFi is now up 16 cents to 575, 576. Tesla 194. Up 490, Apple up 226 to 159.91, trying to get to 160. Unity up 31 cents to 28.05. There's our early morning numbers at this point. Alrighty. Let's see. Yep, a deep value. Yep, GameStop takes my money every single quarter. I can't help it. Deep value. I need these games, says Deep Value. I need these games. I need well, write options on the stock, buy the games, and you're fulfilling the prophecy right there. You're giving GameStop money for product. They're making money off you. And then you're a shareholder or a deep in the money call owner, and you're writing calls. You're being paid to play by all the option players out there. You got to love this. The gamblers are helping you make money in the market by writing options and by buying games to enjoy yourself. Now, this is the win-win of all time. If you can make enough dough that you don't have to work and you can play games all the time by writing options all the time, now you've got what you really want. Way to go, pal. Others kind of figure, well, if I'm going to make a ton of money writing options on GameStop, I'm going traveling. And but then again, they might play games while on the road. I don't know. It all depends. I can't say it any easier than that. What I love, and I loved last summer, I really like this. I was in Zurich last summer when we were in Switzerland. Jen and I went to a shopping mall one day and had to take care of a few things. And wouldn't you know it, what was on the second floor of that shopping mall? A GameStop store. I went into the GameStop store in Zurich just to look around. I was in heaven. I'm just going, this is great. This is the reason, this store, this brand is the reason I'm in Zurich. Because if GameStop didn't do anything in 2020, 2021, I wouldn't even be here with you. And the only reason I'm on the air is because of GameStop's unbelievable explosion of activity. And here I am in Zurich in 2022. Having started this channel on a daily basis, going live in 2021, and now I'm in Zurich in a GameStop store. I could not have predicted that. Could not have thought that would even be possible, but it was. It happened. You gotta love it. Saw GameStop stores in London, Edinburgh. Great. It's just great. I love that. Whenever I see a GameStop store here in the U.S. or in Calgary, I just go, there you are. Here's the reason why you do what you do. They started it, and you're jumping on it. Options Nomads Bruce, 135 on the game on the thumbs up meter. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up button for us, getting us towards our goal, hopefully today, of 200 thumbs ups. You watching on the rerun, thank you for hitting that number. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you all for nailing it for us and giving us some momentum on that show. Love you. All righty, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. We're all here watching the markets and trying to figure out what's going on with GameStop and everything else. There's so much going on here. I'll tell you, I wonder just what is going on. Lots of talk still about the banking crisis, or if there is going to be one or not. There's still talk about Israel. There's just talk about all kinds of stuff going on. Mr. Bankman-Fried has got all kinds of legal problems. That's going to be scary stuff. Yeah, so much fun. My goodness gracious. Yeah. What else is going on? I'm just looking at headlines here from Wall Street Journal. Home prices fell in January for the seventh consecutive month. We know about that. Oh my. What else is going on here? Just reading all kinds of stuff. I noticed that that the Meta thing is backing up quite a bit. There's a lot of backing off about the Meta craze. I'm curious about how that's going to evolve as we continue going forward. This whole Meta thing was the talk. I mean, even Facebook changed its name to Meta, which I think is a huge mistake. I think they really blew it with that. Not the smartest move, I think, to make. But then again, they lost the number two person over there, which I think had a lot of vision for that company. and I'm not sure how well they'll do going forward. But hey, they are what they are, and that's what it is. What can I say? 23. Where are we at on GameStop here now? 23.53, up 38 cents. We've gained, taken a shot higher on GameStop. Here we go. I've been wondering all morning, what would this exposure do for GameStop? Would we see a positive outcome on these articles or negative? What was the deal here? And at the moment, 23.57 is the last trade, up 42 cents. The high trade 23.58, the volume, but only 324,000 so far. Is there a $1 or $2 jump in GameStop? Keep in mind the market is up 229 on the Dow, so the momentum is positive to open the morning. S&P up 40, Nasdaq up 155. Nasdaq's up 1.3%, S&P up 1%, Dow up 0.72. Now GameStop is up 1.7% at 23.54.55 range, which is about the high of the day-ish, 23.60. So within 6 cents of the high of the morning right now. Okay, that's what we got on GameStop. Can it last? Will it last? Will we have a pullback? If so, how much? And then we'll go from there. All right. You option writers, those of you who have not yet written options or who are able to write calls on your GameStop, you want to take a look at 25s, 26s while you can. Again, assuming they may not go that high at all. They may come back to 20. And if you've written 25s for 3, 4, 5 months and got yourself a fat premium, knock yourself out. I say, well done. You make that move. Rollovers can always be done if necessary. It all depends. If you want to write August calls, let's just take a look here. My quote machine, though, is probably not very accurate right now. It is not accurate at all, so I can't give you a quote. But last night they were in the 3-something range for 25s. If the shares want to pop up to 23.50, 24, maybe these 25s can get to $3.50, $4 or better. That would be perhaps a really good write. If you can get $4 for a $25 call, you get taken out at 29. If you're into deep in the money calls, the 10s, the 8s, the 5s, and you're writing 25s with $4 premium, I like this move. And I look into it. Splair, I think I'm 1 to 2 years. I will go everywhere I find it into a GameStop store and say, thank you for letting me travel and visit your gang, Uncle Bruce on YouTube. JJ, Remeta, Fang is dead. Mirko, Fang is now Mango. JJ is smiling. Welcome all to the party, pals. Interesting stuff going on. The January 2025s now, the last I see for bids and asks and so on. The 10s are 12.50 to 14, but my quote, as I say, admittedly, is 10 minutes behind, and that means after 3 minutes. These could be higher by now. We're 23.62 on the stock, so we're going higher on the stock. The 8s were 14.10 to 16, and the 5s were 17.10 to 19. I have a feeling people were buying the 10s at between $10 and $11 each, $11.50 each, something like that, about 2 weeks ago. They're now at 17 to 19. Now, this brings me to another topic I want to bring up. Class number 15. I'm going to launch class number 15 next Saturday. Class number 15. I have to write this down because I'm now committing myself. I decided last night with Jennifer that class number 15 was coming up. Class number 15 will be Saturday, the 8th of April. Okay, April the 8th. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday, April the 8th. Cost to come into the class is going to be the same as before. $150 gets you into the live class if you'd like to be in the audience and ask questions on me on the fly. The topic is all to do about poor man covered calls. It's going to cover when and how to roll over your poor man covered calls, your deep in the money contracts. We're going to talk about cashing in on deep in money contracts. We're going to talk about the ability to switch from one stock to another using deep in the money calls. We're going to talk about writing deep in the money calls, what kind of premiums, how far out you should go, what kind of percentages you should be looking at, when to buy back, what happens if shares go up on you and you have to do rollovers and all this sort of stuff. We're going to really get into advanced techniques, advanced trading techniques on deep in the money, poor man covered calls. That's the gist of the channel, of the class. I haven't named it yet. I'll give it a title shortly. If you would like to be part of the class, if you want to join me and Jennifer, who's going to be the moderator for our class, this is what you need to do. You need to send a $150 US donation to this PayPal address right here. You need to send me a note. You need to send me an email, a private email. Send me the $150 donation here, and then send me an email to say, I am joining your class on April the 8th. Please, here's my donation. I made it on PayPal today. Please add me to your list of students. All right. I'm mentioning it today. I want to give you guys as much time as possible. It is Saturday, April the 8th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, class number 15. If you want in, make a donation to PayPal, and first come, first serve. There will be a limited number of seats available for a live audience. I can't have 200 people join me live for a class. So that would be a problem that I would love to have, though. 200 people want to pay me $150 each to be in a live class. Yeah, right. Anyway, those of you who have been into classes before, you know the routine. You know how it works. I'm on camera. There will be a whiteboard here, and you'll be able to make comments like you always do. Auntie Jen is the moderator, and she interrupts me as I teach the class to answer specific questions live on the spot. Then we edit the class after it's all over. I get it edited, and then I post the class to the website, and any of you can then get your hands on the class whenever you like and watch it again and again and again. Everyone who attends the class live is also going to receive a version of the edited class once it is posted on the website. So you get a 2-for-1. You get to join me live, and then you get your own version of the class later on as an additional gift from us to you. So we're looking forward to you. Class number 15 coming up April the 8th at 2 o'clock. That's Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, a week from Saturday. And if you'd like to be part of it, make a donation on PayPal, and we will get you in there. All right, that is what's going to happen. And hopefully someone here will join this class. Oops, Beach Boy is the first one in. Beach Boy, thank you. I will be looking forward to seeing you in the classroom as usual. What you may find, folks, is that the people that join my classes live usually are the most successful option traders on this channel. That's usually how this pattern works out. Am I surprised that Beach Boy has made a donation of $150 US within a minute of me announcing the class? No, not surprised one iota. It makes absolute sense because Beach Boy does very well writing options. Folks, join Beach Boy and others with us if you like. Come on in. All right, there it is. There it is. Please save a seat for class 15. Expect an extra donation when BB resigns. Right. Giddy up. Will there be a class 16 this year? There should be one. Yeah, there should be a 16 and a 17, maybe an 18 by the end of the year. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Sky High Kite. Uncle, was any advantage to writing closer in, say 2 months, to ride the peak decline of time premium? It depends on the stock. It depends on the stock. We'll be talking about that on the Poor Man Option strategies coming up. We'll be talking about that a bit as well. Timing, that's a big one. All right, there you go, everybody. Class 15, make your move. If you want to spot Beach Boy, you're in to win. Fantastic. Class number 15, April 8th, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I have got, I got to write down Beach Boy right here as my number one guy. He's already in for the class. So Congratulations to you and to all of you who are coming along for the class. Look forward to seeing you. Should be a lot of fun. Within a minute, Beach Boy is a teacher's pet, just like that. Just like that. Yeah, well, join him. Don't forget to bring an apple. There you go. All right. Welcome all. Welcome all to the show. So glad to have you here today. GameStop is making news, whether they like it or not. They've got a write-up on the Wall Street Journal that isn't necessarily flattering, but it is revealing. And I kind of like the article in that an update is available to all of us. And I kind of like the moves they're making. I like the fact, I really respect management when they realize something isn't working and they realize it quickly. They're not like impervious or unaware. I like hands-on management that understands that something isn't working as soon as something isn't working. I don't like these guys who are, clueless as to what the hell is going on in their organizations. And when they do realize that something isn't working, I really respect these people when they say, okay, let's dump this. Let's just give up on that. It's not working. Forget it. We'll move into something else. We tried that. It didn't work. Shut that thing down. Get rid of those people. Let's make changes. We cannot afford to wait another month, a quarter, another year to lose money into something that's failing. We don't need that. We don't want to waste energy of senior management and our talented people into losing entities. Let's work on what's working. Let's concentrate on what's working and deliver on that. And I can see where Cohen, the directors and other senior officers have figured out, well, what we could really do here is shut this down, shut that down, adjust our patterns here, adjust our patterns there, and concentrate on raising margins, lowering inventory levels. Let's make this company way, way more efficient and forget about gambling on something that might work out in a year or two. Forget about it. If NFTs don't pay, don't put 25 new people into NFTs at $200,000 a person. Forget it. We're not going to do it. I love the idea of dumping people. I hate individual tragedies, but I love the idea of a corporation getting thinner quicker when they realize this isn't working. We gambled and it didn't pay. Move on and write off this, write off that, and zero in on where we make money. And they're doing that. Their stores are making them the money. Their margins are improving because of collectible sales. Nail that. Just go after that big time, because other stores can't compete with you guys with 4,200 locations. Other stores, other retailers have their own issues and their own problems and their own supply chain issues. GameStop has theirs. Well, overcome yours and move on. If you are shutting down various divisions that just don't pay, you are saving your shareholders a ton of money bleeding away. And this is why this cash balance is so good for GameStop. To have a cash balance over $1 billion lying around, I like it. The market cap of the company is $7 billion. Not quite 20% of the company is cash. I don't mind that position at all. I don't mind it. I would love the company be worth $10 billion and have the stock be 35% higher. Sure, who wouldn't? But I like the cash position of the corporation, and I like the fact that their operating expenses are dropping, and they're going to drop even more this year. They've already announced and are doing layoffs as we are talking to each other. They've already done layoffs in the first quarter to cut expenses again. Profitability coming? Yeah, bring it on. Bring on the profitability. Oh, another PayPal thing hit. Who is it this time? Who's bothering me now? Oh my. Alberto, of course it's Alberto is coming to a class. I knew it. Thank you, Alberto. I can't wait to have you in. And who else wants in here? Now who's bothering me? Who is it now? Oh man, who is this person? What is this one? Who is it? I don't know who this is. This is someone who has to send me a private email. Each of you need to send me a private email. I don't know who it is. It's a corporation. I don't know who this is. Joe is here. Joe Pastrana. Hey Joe, thank you. You're in the class, buddy. We got you. And who the heck is this? Stuart Bonstein is here. Fantastic, sir. Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, man, is your town having a tough time or what? Jesus, what's going on in America? Thank you, my friend, for coming on board. It looks like we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students are already in for the class. Thank you, and welcome to class number 15. The first 5 are already signed up, and I'll have to write all this out later because it's going to take too much time to do it on here. Fantastic, all. Congratulations, and I look forward to it. A week from Saturday, on April the 8th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, class number 15 will be held live. Jen is the moderator. I will have the whiteboard going, and we are going to talk about advanced strategies for poor man covered call writing. If you guys are writing poor man covered calls, this class is for you. If you're thinking about writing poor man covered calls, you're wondering about writing poor man covered calls, you've watched a couple of my classes, you're hanging out with the gang here, but you haven't done it yet, this class is definitely for you. Come on aboard. By the way, Gamestop 23.33 still up, but only up 18 cents. We were as high as 23.69. The shares have backed up a little bit here so far, but that's not surprising to me to see GameStop backing up a little bit. We've got volume on GameStop right now. Let's take a look here on what's going on. Right now, volume 649,000 shares. That's not enough stock to hold these prices and make them run higher. We need millions of shares to turn over, and we're wondering what's going to happen. Look at SoFi up 23 cents. Really happy about that. 582. Reversing yesterday's losses. Let's break through 6 and go higher, please. Tesla up 481 at 194 a share. Apple 204 higher at 159 a share. Unity up 79. HPQ is also up right now, 51 cents. Please, sir, I want more. Someone is saying here on the PayPal donation. Please, sir. Here it is. Yes. Okay, got it. We have another one here. Joe Oliva. Joe Oliva. Joe, you're in. Please, sir, I want more. Class 15. Yes, indeed. That's another student signed up for today already. All right. Keep them coming, guys. We'll get you going. Fantastic. All right. The Dow up 236. The NASDAQ is up 154. S&P up 40. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Everybody green?
We're green this morning. Lots of news on GameStop this morning, and I have announced the class. I have announced class 15 for next week, Saturday. Not this Saturday. Next week.
Saturday.
The 8th of April, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time.
That's the 8th of April.
That's the 8th of April?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this Saturday's the 1st.
I thought April 7th was Easter. Is that Easter Friday?
I don't know.
What do I know?
Look at me. I don't know. Yep, they're coming in. Alberto is definitely in, sending me a message letting me know he's there. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folks have now signed up for the class, including Nick from Blythe, California. Right on, buddy. Looking forward to having you come on board as well.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one. This is advanced.
Really drill down into
advanced poor man covered call trading strategies. We're going to cover all kinds of stuff that you guys keep asking me about. We're going to really get into it, and this is going to be a good 2-hour class for sure. It's definitely going to be a good one. Like I said before, if you are writing poor man covered calls now, or if you're thinking about writing poor man covered calls going forward, you want to quit your day job because poor man covered calls is going to leverage your way out, you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to be in part of this class because the questions that are going to come at me are going to be right up your alley as well. You're going to really like the fact that the viewers of Bruce's classes are option writers just like you are. They're either wannabes or already doing it, and you're going to get the back and forth live where we're not interrupted by the markets, nothing else. It's just us, for me to bring out to you all kinds of tactics we can use.
Interrupted by me.
Just that. Just there you go. Whether she'll have her cane handy or not to whack me once in a while, I don't know. Tune in to find out. Tradition.
Tradition.
It's tradition.
We can always break into musicals.
There you go. There you go. You can always break into song.
So how is waking up this morning to the alarm? Pretty
Oh,
good.
that was hard. That alarm went off. That was hard.
Instead of me just reaching over and poking you, going,
Hey.
rude.
Hey, butthead, wake up. You're late.
I don't think you said you were
She's so mean. She's so mean to me. She
Did
hits.
they notice you got your hair cut?
I mentioned it.
Oh, did you? There you go.
I don't know.
Because you just couldn't help but notice.
I mean, there was nothing there yesterday. There still is nothing here today.
Oh no, but now it's all trimmed.
It's all pretty and stuff. It's all
looking like it's where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manager, count me in, Uncle Bruce, for the class. Yes, sir. Gotcha. Definitely. Let's see.
Your email address.
Definitely. Everybody has to know, which is all good. Nick Mossad says hi, says Beach Boy. Oh man. What's going on here? All kinds of folks coming through here. What's going on? People
Send
coming
our
in
good
here.
wishes to Beach Boy.
Definitely, Beach Boy. Way to go over there. We're watching. The whole world is watching now. It's finally world news. Finally, this whole thing in Israel.
Yeah.
Yep. Amy J just sent in my dollars for a spot in the class. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. Alberto, classes equals more moolah. Simple as that. Beach Boy, Alberto, you speak the truth. Have a good day, everybody. From White Feather, you bet. Nick, I'd be okay if SoFi broke $6. Nathaniel, what are your thoughts on cash secured puts on GameStop, and what is the shortest amount of time you'd write in that covered call out, or on a covered call out? My thoughts are not on cash secured puts for GameStop. My thoughts are just covered calls. My thoughts are writing calls on stock, or writing covered calls on deep in the money options that you own.
Not a fan of the put.
Not a fan of the put. I'm just not a fan. The premiums aren't there. They just don't pay as well. I'm just much more interested in enjoying the depreciation of value on calls. I love when you guys are bringing in $4, $3.50, $4.50, $5 in premiums, which all automatically means you have to look at writing further out contracts. You've got to look at writing August and September's, but not waiting until August or September. You're going to probably make a rollover or a buyback and another option right within a month or two or less, depending on how the stock reacts, because you know how volatile this stock is. $3, $4 drop can take a August contract right into play where you can score a $3 gain, a $2 gain, a $1.50 gain, 175 fast on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 calls and roll into others right away. It varies. We'll cover that obviously in the classes. We always do. When you sell, you make your money when you sell. That's right. The machine says, just sent you an email. Uncle Bruce, looking forward to learn more. I appreciate your sharing your wisdom. Right on. Can't wait. Alberto, Beach Boy, facts. He has proven his weight in gold. Thank you, my friends. Will Auntie Jen wear her Easter Bunny costume? Tiff wants to know.
That's right.
Beach Boy, Jen, an honor. Are the rumors true? You're invited to the White House and BB not invited to the White House? Are these true? True rumors? BP, possibly the margin may come on in-app purchases on their Web3 gaming world. These are more comments on GameStop. A question on Poor Man Cover Call. Manager wants to know what to do when the Poor Man Cover Call you wrote drops in premium. Do you average it out and write more again at the same strike or go lower? We'll cover that as well. Maria, Uncle Bruce, looking forward to the class. I'll send you an email. John Anderson, hello. Jen, Alberto, can I have like 2 minutes of the class to pile dance for the attendees? I need a few pennies thrown at me.
I think that's expected.
We're kind of disappointed you had to ask. Hector, Uncle Bruce, an ability to show up on time for the morning shows month after month is greatly appreciated. A remarkable work ethic. Thank you, Hector. Maria, Alberto, I have a roll of quarters. I'll toss your way, laughing out loud. Alberto, Maria, thank you. Laugh out loud. Nobody wants to throw dollar bills. They want to throw coins at the guy. Jeez. I can't even catch a break. Oh, man.
Start to leave a mark.
Those hurt. I'll tell you. Yeah, in Canada, we throw toonies and loonies at these poor gals. Or boys, depending on what you're into. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, I just wondering.
Hey,
Seinfeld.
I think I've told this story before, but back in my youth, we used to go to a little town, and on Saturdays, the bar, which was in the hotel, because it was a little town, used to have, it would be like open mic night, but it was open stage. And so anybody could get up and take their clothes off. Oh, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. You would get these cowboys up there, and they'd forget to take their boots off first, and it was just hysterical.
Couldn't get their jeans on.
Well, they could get them down, but not.
They'd walk around
and
with
then
their
not be
jeans
able to
around their
walk.
ankles.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was so good. And then
Oh,
you
no.
get some woman with a lot of years behind her who was drunk enough that she couldn't do buttons anymore.
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
it was worth the drive.
Jen's youth, the prime time of her life.
From my little town to that little town, it was worth the drive.
Wow. Just wow.
And the scary part was that was back before we had even ever considered a designated driver.
I mean, come on.
The
There's
driver
nobody.
was the person who drove to there.
Yeah, they were the one who drove back. Alberto's laughing here. Nick, boots first, laughing my, you know what up.
Take
Maria's
your
loving
boots
this.
off.
Deep Values loving this. JJ, oh my God, Splair. Damn, when Alberto starts their pile dancing while Jen is in a bunny outfit, I would join that class to throw some dollars into the camera. Oh, I'm in on this class. Oh, this is going to be one hell of a class.
Don't throw coins at your computer.
Don't throw coins at your camera. Oh gosh, Alberto's going Splair. Unbelievable. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wacky. Oh my gosh.
Nothing
What
like
can I
alcohol
say?
and encouragement.
Amy, got your donation. Fantastic. We got you. Dude, we got you. You're in. Birdie, of course, Alberto.
23,
Everyone
32.
send us emails that you're confirming your attendance to the class whenever you can. April the 8th, Saturday, April the 8th. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Not Saturday, Saturday, April the 8th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, live with Uncle Bruce and Auntie Jen as moderator. Class number 15, we're bringing it out, and get ready, everybody. We're going to be busy on that one for sure.
So what's happening with Gamestop?
Oh my gosh, they were written up today in the Wall Street Journal front page of the Journal.
Buyers.
It was revealing. It was really revealing info, and just to add to the interest, to the intrigue, today they filed, or a filing was posted on the SEC, through the SEC.
Yeah.
These are the minutes to the financials, because the fourth quarter was the end of the year.
Oh.
Annual report.
Right.
Well, annual report means financial notes.
That's right.
Financial notes are millions of miles long of
that's where the
legalese.
good stuff is.
That's where all the good stuff is. So I'm reacting to the financial notes that I've gone through in like 30 minutes this morning. I've only barely had a few minutes to do it. And then I'm reacting to this article. And the article was really interesting because the reporters, there were two, have now started to interview former employees of the company.
Okay.
Who have left.
Right.
Now they're getting the inside scoop. What happened in the last year and a half
what was
since
said in those
since Ryan Cohen
doors.
took over,
Yeah.
because they're under a no obligation to shut the hell up. They can speak if they want to, and so some really revealing info came out about the company's activities in the last year and a half. And one of them that is surprising is, and I actually am giving kudos to the management of the company, even though it costs people their jobs. I am giving kudos. The folks at GameStop, the top folks, have a very short fuse of patience.
Right.
They have a very short fuse. If something doesn't work, doesn't work, we dump it. We're not here for a 5-year experiment to see if we can make this work.
For a long time, we're here for a good time.
We're not interested in creating a new entity and putting hundreds of millions of dollars into it for 5 years to see if it finally works out.
Right.
No, we're getting into this. Does it pay? Yes, keep it. Doesn't pay? Dump it. What about this? Doesn't pay? Dump it. move on, get rid of the people that were involved in it and move into another area. They've actually reverted back to their bricks and mortar stores.
Oh, really?
Yes, because what they've now figured out, and this is because of COVID and the evolution of COVID. Going into COVID, the GameStop did the right thing. They went e-commerce. They were offering their customers an opportunity to get GameStop product from e-commerce ordering abilities through the app and through the website.
Right, because
The malls were
their
closed.
customers were already
The stores are closed.
online.
You couldn't
Yeah.
get into the store.
Well, yes,
You were
during
shut
COVID,
out.
of
Everybody's
course.
locked up.
Yeah.
So they went e-commerce, smart to survive, because everybody who shorted the stock was convinced these guys they don't know what they're doing. They're completely lost. They're old school. They're like Blockbuster. They're going to go under. And when COVID came out, the shorters were convinced that the company was done for. I went live January 2021. COVID showed up in 2020. And this was a year, 6 months into, about to happen, a major, complete North American worldwide lockdown. Everybody who shorted GameStop was convinced they were going to make a pile of money because the company couldn't open their stores. How can a company survive if you can't open your store? And many retailers did die during COVID. They died. They're gone.
But their customers are so internet savvy.
Yes.
They're playing games.
Yes, they
It's a natural
are.
for them.
But GameStop sells games, physical games.
Yes.
They don't sell digital games. So the digital is different than the physical.
Right.
So GameStop offered pick up by the mall, come to the curbside pickup for anything we have that you like to order from us. And then their website, they offered home delivery. But that all ended last quarter. Last summer, COVID was practically finished. Last fall, it was over. Last 3 months of 2022, no masks, no. You don't have to have
the virus will be with us
inoculation
forever, but
Yeah,
the restrictions are
the restrictions were lifted, so everyone went back to the mall. Not everyone, but many people went back to the mall, including the kids who love GameStop. And so GameStop figured out, forget the e-commerce strategy as our number one strategy. It's not going to be our number one strategy. We can't be number one in e-commerce. They figured it out quickly. It worked during pandemic time, but it didn't work after pandemic time. And Peloton figured it out, and many others figured it out, that they were done for when it came to online only survival and everything else. So GameStop focused on their stores, closing their underperforming stores, laying off a bunch of people, shutting down divisions. They never opened Reno. That Reno distribution center, they never opened it. That was millions saved.
Yeah.
They kept the Pennsylvania one open, but they closed one in Kentucky, apparently. They've made changes. They closed, I think they closed an office in Seattle or Boston, or proposed offices were never launched. Then the customer care center in Florida was shut down within weeks of being created, or months, never went anywhere. They have cut back massive amounts of expenditures. And then I find out this morning in the fine print of the annual report, they got 1.3 billion in cash on hand. We know that.
Yeah.
Guess what they're doing with it? 30, 60, and 90-day treasury bills.
There you go.
Every 30 days, they roll over their treasury bills. They're hauling in 3.5% interest on the money.
There you go.
A year ago, they were getting 0.25%, 0.5%. Now they're getting 3.5% on their money.
Of course.
3.5% on $1.3 billion? You know how much money that is? That's over $40 million a year. That's $10 million a quarter in profits. Pure, easy cash coming into the company. You do that with cost cutting. You do that with inventory reductions. You got a profitable corporate. You just turn the company around to making money.
And I'm glad they're going back to brick and mortar, because that community really likes to talk to each other, and that's part of the game.
That's right.
And so talking about, I've got this game, have you tried that game? They're best salesmen.
The staff at GameStops are gamers.
Yeah.
Right? You go into a GameStop store, you want to talk about a game, you can talk to the person behind the counter about the game. You can't talk to a person at, say, Costco. You go to Costco and try to buy a game, and you want to talk to a Costco employee about a video game. Some of these folks are going to go, English isn't my first language. What do you want? The guys who sweep the floor on those machines. I mean, customer service at Costco? I mean, come on. You can talk to the manager at the front of the store. The customer rep's up there, but that's after you go through the cash register, not on the floor. Where at GameStop, you get on the floor service. This is the difference.
You go into a mall, malls are death. The store that has people in it,
GameStop. GameStop. Yeah,
GameStop has 6, 7 people
that's right.
that they've made a purchase. They're talking.
That's it. And so the
they're
stock,
enjoying their time there.
the stock is up today. It was as high as 23.69 at one point. It's 23.33 right now. It's still up 16 cents. Interesting. We'll follow that, of course. The Dow is up 207, S&P up 38, NASDAQ up 154. It's been a 45 minutes of gains. We want to see if this can last all day, or is this a 1 hour dead cat bounce for the markets as a whole. Banking queries have calmed down today, so the markets are higher. GameStop is higher in its own little way. The only problem with GameStop, as far as its trading goes, the volume is now 934,000, and you divide that by 4 to kind of talk about, what we used to see all the time. We used to see 2 to 5 million in the first hour. We're sitting at 30,000 shares.
Yeah.
That's all. We're talking dead quiet here. This is not enough volume to make the big dent. We need triple, quadruple, 5 times, 8 times this. We're not getting it yet. So there's that issue.
You know what we are getting? Coffee. I'm out of here. You like that segue?
How about that? That's a segue. Pat Benatar. I forget that line.
I can't remember what he said. I don't know whose line is it.
It's king of the segues.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember.
See
anyway.
See everybody.
Thank you, Miss Jen. There she is. Thank you, Miss Jennifer. Have a lovely morning. Get your exercises done. Get stronger. Get quicker. Get more powerful.
Straight Thumb Society.
Straight thumb. Oh, that's the thumb. That's the correct way to have a thumb.
Straight Thumb.
No. Okay, go Rugman. Oh man, let's see. Beach Boy Jen, please don't encourage the kids. Splayer, digitally, GameStop's biggest enemy are the stores on the consoles. That's why I like Sony stock as well. They make tons of money. Splayer, most gamers, including me, just need some social interaction in the store. Susan, shops about. Jen, Bruce is talking too much. Level. Did he receive my April 8th class seat? Let's take a look right here. Yes, got it. Just came in. Susan, it's in. You are in. I wouldn't miss it for anything, she says. Please sign me up. You got it. From Florida. You betcha. We have got you, and I'll have all this written out. Make sure all of you send me a private email as well. If you're making a donation on PayPal for the class next week, the 8th of April, please send an email with it when you can, and that way we have your return email address that you want us to send you the link to the class the day of the class. This is what we pre-write out. We have it all. I write it in by hand. Believe it or not, I write it down so a crash does not affect me and the class. So there you go. Let us know, and we've got you set up. Dude, Jen, thumbs up. Splayer, enjoy the day already, Jen, and all you early leaving people. Thank you all for being here. We have now got 160 thumbs ups. Jamie is in the house. Jamie is also in the class that just landed here. PayPal donation. Way to go, Jamie. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, something isn't right. The amount isn't equal for a class. So is this a donation for something else? I don't know. Jamie, help me out here. I'm not sure what's going on there. The class cost is 150 US. Let me know what you're up to. Thank you for the donation, no matter what. I do appreciate that. We have now 160 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you so much for that. Welcome to Duncan this morning, who joined us as a Gold Bagel member. Great to have you here. If you've returned, I'm so glad to have you. Fantastic stuff. All of you, thank you so much for being here. And let's see how we do today. GameStop is running up again. Another little run right now. 23.66. Looks like 23.70 has been reached. Let's take a closer look. 23.70 is a high today on GameStop at the moment. Volume now 1 million shares on the session. So GameStop up just about 50-something cents-ish, a little better. U.S. pending home sales rose for the third straight month in February. However, prices are down. That we saw yesterday. where numbers are a little higher because mortgage rates have eased off a little bit. People are making their move now before they worry about it going up again. We'll see how that holds on, and time will tell on that. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We've got the Dow up 215 points. We've got the S&P up 41 and NASDAQ up 160. The NASDAQ is up 1.4%. The S&P is up 1%, and the Dow is up 0.68, half of what the NASDAQ is doing. So NASDAQ is definitely out-tracking the Dow. Oil is up, but only up 81 cents, not having a massive $2-3 day today. It's up just a little bit. ATIP at 28.9 at up 1.9 cents on the session. SoFi 582 up 23 cents. SoFi has hit 592 already today on 8 million. Go SoFi. Tesla 191.59 up $2.40. Apple up 243 to 160.08. Apple has broken 160 again. Apparently, Apple is now offering a payment plan. Get the phone now, make 4 payments to pay for the phone. They're now making that. That is a sign to me of tightening cash. That is a sign to me that Apple has decided that in order to maintain sales volumes, they're doing this pay plan thing, this 4 payment installment plan. You get your phone now, you make your first payment, and you make 3 more over the next 9 months or 12 months. That is a sign that money is tightening up. And the ultimate indicator, what that means to me long term, sales will be lower because people are running out of disposable cash on hand. They're using cash flow to buy the phone. Now, let's be honest. You buy an Apple phone, get a phone through AT&T, you get a phone through any other provider, they offer you what? 2 and 3 year plans with the phone built in. I mean, it's nothing down. Bring in your old phone, we'll give you $150 for it or something like that, or $100 against your new deal, and don't pay anything up front and just make a payment every month of so much money, which includes your phone. So people are already and have already been financing the acquisition of their phones. So this is nothing new. But now Apple is doing it directly to customers. That's something to think about. Unity is up 63 cents. HPQ is up 52. First Republic's up 59 cents. Google's up 34 cents. Moderna's up 211 to 149.20 range. Cisco's up 41 cents. Pfizer's up 3. IBM is up 13. Microsoft up $5. ME up 21. Matterport up 9 cents. Cyxtera's down 2.7. Rocket Lab up 2.7. SmartRent up 1.7. Spire down 1.7. Bed Bath Beyond up a penny. Amazon up 2.46. Home Depot up 2.04. Netflix up 5.30. Vanik up $6. Adobe up 3.80. Goldman up 1.85. Boeing up 1.90. Meta up 2.40 at the moment. So we've got green everywhere, still holding green, up 220 on the Dow at this point. Coming into the first hour, 7 minutes to go, and we'll have done the first hour pretty steady between 200, 220, 230 points higher is kind of where we seem to be at the moment, give or take. GameStop seems to be hanging around 23.56.58 right now. The high of the day, 23.70, the low of 22.90. We only have an 80-cent trading range on GameStop, mostly positive. After the first 10 minutes, it's been positive slightly so far. The question is, are we going to hold this gain? Is this report out of the Wall Street Journal positive enough? Are enough people reading it as a positive long-term, or are some people going to read this and go, I wonder, and so I'm going to sell. I don't know. The mentality in the market now seems to be to me that if you are a corporation and you're announcing layoffs, you're getting a green check mark. If you're a corporation announcing cost cuts, you're getting a check mark, rather than getting a red check mark that says you are cutting back, you are getting smaller, you have lost money in various divisions, and you are now noticing sales pullbacks. This hasn't clicked in yet. The market as a whole has not bought into that whole notion that we're in a recession and that the economy is going to back off and there are going to be corporate earnings that will disappoint. Because for now, if you can cut enough expenses from your existing corporation, you might get away with lower sales, lower profits, but higher margins because you reduced your expenses. And so financially, you look actually healthier because you're running lean and mean. And the investors will give you a pass on that for the next 3 to 6 months, maybe. But quarter after quarter after quarter, if your sales drop and drop and drop, they just don't climb anymore. They kind of hang out, even with inflation giving you the opportunity to raise prices. You're just not getting anywhere. Then eventually the investor gets impatient and they begin to read negative news into companies pulling back. That's when they go, no, these guys are shrinking. They're not going to make the money they made 2 years ago. They're not going to make the money next year that they made last year. They're not going to make the money in 2 years they made last year. This is a decline, and I want to be careful about that. So maybe that's what's going on. Jamie, thank you for that secondary donation. You're in the class. Got it. It came through, and you figured it out. Way to go, pal. Fantastic. I see what you're saying. I got it. Yeah, no. It's $150. Yes, it's $150. The cost to attend the class is $150 US for all students to attend. Those of you who want to have a one-on-one session with me, if any of you out there would like to have a one-on-one session with me, I do offer Gold Bagel members for a limited time a $25 savings for a one-on-one session. Some people ask me how much you charge for a one-on-one. I charge $400 for an hour to be on camera with you privately, where I'm on this half of the camera, you're on that half of the screen, and we talk live. If you're a Gold Bagel member of the channel, you get a $25 discount for now, and it's $375 for Gold Bagel members. So it's available for a limited time. I will end that eventually, but at the moment, since I've shifted from doing 2 live shows a day to 1, I've added this little added feature for Gold Bagel members of this channel. This helps you with your $25 per month fee to be a Gold Bagel member. If you're going to have a one-on-one with me, here's a credit of $25 for a one-on-one. If you're not a Gold Bagel member, it's $400 for the hour. But I am certain that in the hour, we will share enough knowledge back and forth that by the time you we're done for the day, you will sit back and go, I just got myself thousands of dollars of information here. It's worth this $400 price for sure. So I'm pretty sure we can do that. Jamie says, thanks, Uncle Bruce. You got it. No problem. Is this why you keep saying don't fear the upside? This information about GameStop, that's exactly right. And as a market as a whole, do not fear the upside for the market as a whole. If you guys are worried that the stock market is going to go for the greatest bull run in history, starting right now, you are sadly mistaken. You are very, very badly uninformed by whomever is uninforming you, because we've got all kinds of systemic issues out there that are not conducive for corporations to make limitless money going forward, including and starting with the Federal Reserve of the United States and all other central bankers. There is a tightening of cash going on right now, and it's becoming more and more evident in various areas of the economy, including banks themselves. When banks are undercapitalized, there's a cash shortage coming out. Even these guys didn't believe it, which just blows my mind that these so-called experts in banking who run these multi-billion-dollar organizations are clueless when it comes to the tightening that's going on at the Fed and the ECB, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, everywhere else. There is no relenting on that. That will continue no matter what interest rates do. This is going to squeeze inflation, and it's going to squeeze expansion of earnings dramatically for most companies. There will be the odd success story. Yes, there will be. Some companies will be able to make more money than they made the year before because they're a growth company. Yes, fair enough. But some of the tried and true diehards are going to have a tough time to keep expanding their bottom line. And that's what we're talking about here. That's why the markets are not going anywhere in a big, big way. We can still have up days, but no. By the way, now everybody here have a relaxed and successful day, says Blair from Dortmund. Remember, prime time today. I'm going to try to be awake until 2 a.m. Amsterdam time. Hang in there, pal. Live tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, prime time with Uncle Bruce for these guys. If you're a Gold Bagel member of the channel, you can join me tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, live. And if you're a Gold Bagel member, you can watch this program on rerun anytime you want because you will be given exclusive access to it because you're a Gold Bagel member of this channel. Thank you, all of you who are Gold Bagel members. Thank you to those folks who have been upgrading your membership from regular membership to Gold Bagel level. Thank you. And thank you to those of you who have become members of this channel overall from being just subscribers of this channel. I thank you. Jen thanks you. You are the reason why we're here. We're on the air. We're with you because you're with us. And we thank you so, so very much. Hector Splair, that is a difficult schedule. Richard, neat says, and Hector too. Zeta State thumbs ups for you, Uncle Bruce. Thank you guys for the thumbs ups. We have about 170 now in the house. We need about 30 more to get to 200 thumbs ups. If any of you out there can find that thumbs up button, please nail it as hard as you can, as quick as you can, every device you have. Let's get this number to 200 thumbs ups today as we continue our climb in the YouTube universe. Thank you all so much. Those of you who want to be in the class, next week, Saturday, I'll mention it one more time, we will be live the 8th of April. Saturday, the 8th of April, 2 o'clock Eastern time. So those of you in Europe, it's going to be about 8 o'clock at night. Those of you in LA, it's going to be 11 in the morning. Those of you in Australia, I have no idea what time it's going to be for you guys. Join us live, if you like, as a student for class number 15 at Advanced Trading Strategies, Poor Man Covered Call Advanced Strategies. If you are already writing Poor Man Covered Calls, and you want to learn a whole bunch of other tricks regarding Poor Man Covered Calls, you want to understand when to do rollovers on the calls, the deep and the money calls you have. You want to understand the right timing to shift short-term calls written against the covered calls. You want to understand how much powder to keep handy and how much powder to use. You want to understand when to shift from one covered call stock to another stock using covered calls. You want to figure all that out. We are going to talk about all kinds of advanced strategies on the Poor Man Covered Call strategy. Those of you who've been watching class number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you've really gotten into this. This class is for you. You want to quit your day job? Seriously? You want to enhance your retirement account now to get it somewhere before you do retire because you're running out of time? You want to improve capital on hand? You want to improve your performance of your investments? You are sick and tired of getting these reports from your financial experts that are handling your money, whoever you're using, and you're getting 4, 5, 6% returns that used to be 8, 10, 12% returns, or you're now looking at negative returns. You're sick and tired of this stuff? You're going to want to learn how to write Poor Man Covered Calls as an add-on. Even if you don't do it, you're going to want to understand how this does work, because as an option writer, you want to become a decent option writer. Writing just on stock, so much of what you need to know is inside the class I'm going to bring up, because we're going to talk about writing short-term calls against your calls or your stock. We're going to cover as much as we can in a 2+ hour session live. Auntie Jen will be the moderator, as she always is. This is your chance to join the greatest family YouTube has for a live class. Saturday, April the 8th, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Make a donation to this PayPal address down below. It's down below in writing. You can always find it down below. Send $150 to Traveling with Bruce, to Uncle Bruce, and we'll register you and send me a private email beyond that, just to say, I've sent you $150. I'm in on the class on April the 8th. That way I have your personal email address and I can contact you. And we'll send you the link. Thank you, all of you. Cindy, thank you for the thumbs up. Splair, knee emojis, Bama Babe, Double D, incoming. Splair, Uncle Bruce in Australia. It's 2300, 11 p.m. Perfect time for a class. Sky High Kite. I keep my powder handily when the class is going, says Splair. JR, Hugh, I had to sleep in today researching Uncle Bruce, and what he says on YouTube is exhausting. No wonder you don't do it. Uncle B, thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm going to shut the show down now and get a break in here. Send in your donation as soon as you can. Let me know you're joining, and we will add you to the list between now and next Saturday, the 8th of April, Saturday the 8th, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, class number 15. Join the gang. Oh, it looks like we got about 10 or 12 already. They're coming in. Can't wait to see you, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Unless something crazy happens later today, join you tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern Time, first thing in the morning, or 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Gold Bagel members, 8:30 for everybody else. Don't forget, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, prime time with Uncle Bruce for Gold Bagel members. We'll see you there this evening at 8 o'clock Eastern. I can't wait. Thank you all so much for being here today. Fantastic. Neat. I say that too. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye for now.